I will never use AI to write fiction. Action and thrillers come from experience. Lived experience comes from emotion. AI is coming for every job, and I will never use it to write a book. Now that I'm writing fiction, it still comes from honest, lived-in experience that you just can't replace with a computer. You can't type in your story idea and come up with when to run. You just can't, because the characters are more real, they're based on real people, and the story, the action, the tactics, everything is based on what's in my head. And although AI can try to copy it and try to learn from how I write and what I'm actually writing about, you can't duplicate experience. You can only live experience. AI can duplicate basic structures, it can duplicate a voice pretty well, but it can't duplicate A+ work and A+ creative thinking. That's the difference between being afraid of AI and acknowledging that it exists. When to Run exists because, in part, it's lived in. It's based on experiences that I've had or my husband had, and the characters are important, and I felt like my story was important enough to make into a book. When to Run is from human emotion, from human experience, and that's something AI can never touch. I think problems with AI on the horizon and on the incline. Could AI be used to write the next 2 books? And I think yes, but I think it would be garbage. It would be unreadable. I don't want to be a reader in a world where there's nothing new coming out and there's no creativity anymore. AI kills creativity. This isn't about a fear of technology. It's a matter of ownership, authorship, and respect for craft. AI, if you use it for writing, it removes the process. And I think the process is so important to have a good result. The process is everything. And AI makes it easy. It automates things. What I put into it will always affect the outcome. I want to read something that a human who has emotion, who has experiences that are different from mine, I want to read that. Stories don't come from efficiency, they come from experience. When to Run, my first book, is based off of my main character who I have emotional attachment to. And I think most authors do feel that same way about their characters. I sit with something, if I have an idea, if I have a character who I'm developing, I think about it all the time. It's not something that just comes out. And that's what AI is doing. And I don't know about you, but I would rather read a book that's written by someone who's real, who's thought about something, who's mindful of their own experiences and of everyone around them. What AI also does is remove unique cultures and unique voices. Readers can tell when a story wasn't lived, when it was just assembled. It's gone through thousands of other voices, thousands of authors, and studied writing from many different cultures, and it's mixing them all together, and it's creating this, like, this is what everybody likes, but it's turning it into, this is what nobody likes. This is what nobody wants to read. Books and essays, poems written by AI might have studied emotion and studied the right words to put on the page, but it'll always be empty of true emotion because a computer doesn't feel anything. Humans feel, and we know the difference between something that's written by someone who's real and something that has been copied. AI doesn't learn from failure, regret, or growth, and that's where stories come from. Human beings are flawed. I'm flawed. All of our leaders are flawed majorly. All artists, all creators, all athletes. With anything we do, humans, the way that we make mistakes and correct our mistakes, that's what makes art art, and it's what makes it worth consuming. AI takes the flaws out of things because AI wants to be flawless, but it's lifeless. Without the human flaws, stories don't come alive. And I don't want to read stories that have no life. I want to read stories that have flaws, that are beautiful because of the brushstrokes, beautiful because of the person that they come from. My flaws make my book, When to Run, it makes the characters come alive. My experience can't be duplicated by AI because a computer can't feel it when it gets punched in the face. AI doesn't know what it's like to have your teeth cracked. AI doesn't know what bullets flying past you sounds like. AI has never gotten their dirt under their fingers. It's never sprinted because of adrenaline, because you have to get somewhere right now that's not right here. AI doesn't have human emotion and human drive. That's what makes my book come alive. A computer can't get that right in any way. A computer can't paint beautifully. It can only create a half-assed copy. If you want to read a book that's based on real emotion, real flaws, choose me and authors like me. As a reader myself, I want to read books that are filled with emotion and filled with a story that comes to life and is just as beautiful as the paintings that you can see the little flaws in. I would urge you to choose authors like me who say no to AI and whose writing is original and can't be regenerated, can't be copied. As an author whose first book comes out in a few months, I want to make a promise to the people who are going to read my book that I will never use AI to write. I think that books written by AI are subpar at best. If you are invested enough to read my book, know that it's coming from my experience, my husband's experience, and it's filled with emotion and a story that came from here, not from a computer. When my book comes out, I want you to know that it came from me and that it's worth reading because it can't be duplicated and there's no computer system who can write the story that I wrote. AI regurgitates and humans create. Don't be afraid of AI, but kind of be afraid of AI. Humans are the creators, but what makes art a creation is that it comes from us. We are humans, and we're the only ones who can come up with something unique and something amazing to share.
Nailed it.